Naperville was recently ranked as the third best city to buy a house, as well as it's ranked as one of the top suburbs in the whole country. And Elmhurst consistently ranks as a great place to live for families. So if you're looking to make a move to either of these suburbs, which one should you choose? As someone who was born in the western suburbs my whole life, I can tell you guys that there are many differences and similarities when it comes to Naperville and Elmhurst. So by the end of this video today, you'll find out which suburb is best for you, especially if you are looking to make a move here. So let's just jump right into it. First things first, when it comes to these two suburbs, is that I typically tell my clients is that both these suburbs are ranked very highly when you look at the rankings for the Chicago Western Suburbs, but they both give a different type of feel, and we're going to focus on location first. I had a client that worked in downtown Chicago, and they were torn between Elmhurst and Naperville, and they absolutely loved everything that Naperville had to offer, but they began to dread that extra 20-minute commute when it came to living in Naperville and commuting to the city of Chicago. On the other hand, Elmhurst made it really easy when it came to proximity from Elmhurst to the city of Chicago, especially with just jumping on the metro real quick to make it very easy commute. So at the end of the day, my clients actually focused on location because they went to the city for work Monday through Friday. If you're in Naperville, you are about 28 miles west of the city of Chicago, but don't let that scare you because Naperville is actually typically sectioned off with North, Central, and South Naperville. And when it comes to these three different sections of Naperville, I can tell you guys that they all offer a different vibe as well as commuting options when it comes to getting to the city of Chicago or any of the surrounding suburbs. One thing I will say that is pretty crazy about Naperville is that if you are going from north to south, it's about a 30-minute drive, which is pretty crazy, and just under 40 cubic square miles compared to Elmhurst, which is about 10. So if commuting is a main priority for you and you have Naperville on top of your priority list, I would typically suggest to my clients is that really focus on which area offers you the best commuting options as well as what fits your lifestyle. When it comes to Elmhurst, you are about 16 miles west of the city of Chicago, and Elmhurst is one of those western suburbs that offers incredible proximity when you're looking to easy access to downtown Chicago, as well as all the incredible Chicago Western Suburbs. From Elmhurst, the Express Metro line can actually take about 20 to 22 minutes compared to Naperville's Express line, which can take about 45 minutes-ish. And when it comes to driving, Elmhurst offers great proximity, especially when there's no traffic at all, taking about 20 to 30 minutes depending on what portion of Elmhurst that you live in, compared to Naperville, which can be from anywhere between 45 minutes to about an hour 15 as well. At the end of the day though, when it comes to Naperville and Elmhurst, they both offer incredible different options as well as differences, but if commuting is especially important for you, this is definitely something to consider when it comes to making a move here. And at the end of it, even though they are both considered suburbs, they both offer some great amenities as well as lifestyle, so you never have to go to downtown Chicago at all if you don't want to. We'll talk about all about amenities and lifestyles later on in this video, but right now let's go right into the community when it comes to Naperville and Elmhurst. This is actually a huge deal if you're curious about how the community's difference in Naperville and Elmhurst can affect your daily life. But before we get into it, if you haven't met me yet, or if you haven't watched any of these YouTube videos at all on this channel, I'm Blankenship, your go-to Chicagoland realtor, helping people just like you relocate to, in, and around the Chicagoland area. And if you enjoy content like this, and this is super helpful, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think about this video. And if you're thinking about making a move next week or next year, I'd love to help out. All my information is down below in the description. Feel free to reach out whenever. Like I said earlier, when it comes to Naperville, and when you just look at like the big picture overall, they boast a population of just under 150,000 people, spanning just under 40 miles. Truly, that is pretty massive for a suburb, separating with three sections from north, central, and south, all offering different feel as well as amenities as well as lifestyle. When it comes to North Naperville, it's more of the established feel with older homes, easy access to I-88, and then when it comes to Central Naperville, you kind of have that downtown pocket, which everyone raves about. And then when you come more south of Central Naperville, you kind of have those newer subdivisions and pretty much all belonging to District 204, which is Naperville Schools, and the other portion of Naperville Schools is District 203. So different options, feel, lifestyle, amenities for all three locations. Now, as we flip over to Elmhurst, you have just over 45,000 people that live here in Elmhurst, spanning about 10 square miles. But even though the population is significantly different as well as the size, you're really not giving up that many amenities, truthfully. It has an amazing downtown area with that small city feel. And what a lot of the locals call, the downtown Elmhurst area is kind of that town center. And it spans around 275 businesses that wrap around that local center as well, which makes it very, very walkable. One of the big things to actually love about Elmhurst as well is that I just talked about walkability. You can walk around town, walk to the Metro line, you can walk to, Elmhurst University. And with Elmhurst University as well, you kind of have that cool college feel when it comes to, that downtown Elmhurst vibe. And the same thing could go with downtown Naperville because North Central College is actually located right in downtown Naperville. In Naperville, you're also looking at bigger subdivisions as well as Ashbury from Crest Creek in the north and a ton of different other subdivisions along Naperville as well. And then when you look at Elmhurst, you kind of have more tree-lined streets. So Naperville kind of has like its own pockets and subdivisions and community feel within those different subdivisions also. For me, I can tell you guys that I am a sucker for that cozy feel when I'm driving along tree-lined streets, and you'll definitely get that in Elmhurst, and even when you drive through kind of those downtown Naperville pockets as well. Now, when you drive through Naperville as well, you'll kind of notice more newer amenities as well as wider streets because the infrastructure has kind of just developed, more recent compared to Elmhurst, which is kind of that more intimate feel that I would say, because you can kind of look at the different strip malls around the area and you can kind of see that they are definitely older and have that truly cozy feel. And I will tell you guys something crazy. When I have clients that relocate from out of state or from the city of Chicago that have never been here before, they feel like Elmhurst is just a typical area and they feel like Naperville is like its own city, like Chicago by itself, which is really interesting to say because I've lived here my whole life. And for me, I think they are both great and they feel the same to me in a sense. And if you want more specific suburbs and subdivisions when it comes to Naperville and Elmhurst, drop a comment down below because I can definitely do a full video because there's that much information when it comes to, unpacking these different suburbs. Now let's talk about a big reason why a lot of people and families look to make a move here to these suburbs, and it's actually because of schools. Naperville actually has two public school districts, which is District 203 and District 204, and Niche.com actually ranks it the best when it comes to public schools in all of America. District 203 boasts 14 elementaries, 5 middle schools, and then you either filter into Naperville North or Naperville Central. And then District 204 is actually even bigger compared to 203. You have 21 elementary schools, 7 middle schools, and you have Neuqua, Matea, as well as Waubonsie Valley High School for your 3 public high schools here. Now, District 205 is Elmhurst, and Niche.com actually ranks it the number 29 best public school district in all of Illinois, as well as an A+ also. So, when it comes to schools, both are very highly ranked. You've actually got 8 elementary schools right here in Elmhurst from Field, Hawthorne, Edison, Emerson, Jefferson, Lincoln, Jackson, and Fisher Elementary School. I want to say one of the big things, depending where you live in Elmhurst, is that all these different elementary schools are pretty walkable. So, your kids can either walk to school or even ride a bike, but there are bus stops as well. And we kind of dabbled on kind of that higher education with Elmhurst having Elmhurst University in downtown Elmhurst and North Central College being in downtown Naperville. And, they both offer great benefits for both. So if you guys want more information and kind of the higher education here in Naperville and Elmhurst, just drop a comment down below. And now let's kind of talk about the lifestyle amenities when it comes to Naperville and Elmhurst. And I will tell you guys that they are both different for sure, but they will both definitely wow you, especially if you haven't been here and, if you're looking to make a visit here. Let's start with downtown Naperville first, and it's probably the one downtown area that everyone talks about when it comes to making a move here. It's kind of like that main downtown area of the Chicago suburbs that everyone knows and talks about, but forgets to realize that all the surrounding suburbs also has, those great downtown areas for the most part also. The Naperville Riverwalk is kind of the crown jewel here, and it spans about 1.75 miles. And one of the funniest things as well is that I feel like every single person has a picture at the Naperville Riverwalk, from homecoming pictures to prom pictures to engagement photos to kind of just like taking a picture with your family and friends when it comes to walking through here. I mean, if you go on like Naperville Riverwalk and look at the location on Instagram, you'll probably see a ton of tag photos with people just taking a photo shoot there in downtown Naperville Riverwalk. And honestly, I have my headshots there for my real estate business there in the Riverwalk as well. And then when it comes to the dining options, you guys know that I'm a huge foodie. If you want kind of that more cozy feel, you can go to Santo Cielo. 64 Wine Bar is one of my favorites. My clients own that place, and there's just a ton of great options when it comes to dining in Naperville. So, you got to check it out definitely, because you don't really have to leave to the city of Chicago to kind of enjoy a great culinary experience. Elmhurst, on the other hand, is definitely smaller than Naperville, but it kind of offers that cozy, relaxed feel, as well as many amenities also. The Elmhurst City Center is actually packed with character, and the York Theater is kind of like that main attraction that kind of like everyone sees as well. Like if you drive down Elmhurst and downtown Elmhurst, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about for sure. You definitely get more of those boutique, mom and pop shops that have been there for years and years and years when it comes to Elmhurst, as well as a lot of different great dining options, as well as one of my personal favorites is actually Kitchen 151 Bar. Definitely one of my go-to spots that you guys definitely need to try out. And now when we kind of talk about parks and recreations, Naperville boasts a ton of different parks, with the Naperville Recreation Center, kind of holding on to and managing over 130 parks here in Naperville. Whether you're at Nike Sports Complex in Naperville looking to play soccer, volleyball, or even the most popular pickleball going on right now, it's definitely huge, and there's people playing all the time. And even the Springbrook Prairie Forest Preserve to kind of have that outdoor nature with trails, as well as Centennial Beach if you are looking to kind of have that man-made beach right in downtown Naperville to swim in the summer. Naperville kind of boasts a lot of options for kind of those outdoor and recreation activities also. And then Elmhurst kind of offers a different range of, lifestyle and these kind of recreation and activities as well. Wilder Park kind of mixes a recreation as well with culture. You'll find here, gorgeous, flowers and everything of that nature, as well as Wilder Mansion. Elmhurst Art Museum is definitely a place to go, especially if you are interested in contemporary art. And the park also hosts a ton of community events throughout the year, and you can definitely find those on its website. And there's just a ton of great options, and having that definitely much more community feel right in downtown Elmhurst. And then how about the conveniences to everything? I talked about how Naperville is so large, so you kind of have everything at your fingertips, especially with, South Naperville being newer. So you're having those high-end grocery stores, as well as a lot of different things getting kind of built up. And when it comes to Elmhurst in terms of convenience, even though it's small, you kind of have all those things at your fingertips. And one of the biggest things too is that it's easy access to the city of Chicago. So if you're looking for, different kind of styles when it comes to dining experiences, you got downtown Chicago at your fingertips pretty easily. But before I break down which one is best for you as we kind of go further, I kind of want to break down the real estate prices, especially if you're looking to make a move here. You're probably curious on what homes are worth here in Naperville as well as Elmhurst. I would say when it comes to housing prices, both Elmhurst and Naperville have a lot to offer, as well as different types of homes as well. Let's kind of start off with Naperville. The average sales price currently, as I'm making this video, is right around $750,000. And what is a $750,000 house getting you in Naperville? And that truly depends whether you're looking at North, Central, or South Naperville. Obviously, if you're looking at Central Naperville in that kind of like downtown area, you're probably finding something on the smaller side, something with a little more charm. North Naperville, you're getting that 4-bed, 2.5 bath with a basement, probably around 2,400 to 2,500 square feet. And then when you're looking in South Naperville, depending on which subdivision that you're looking in, you're probably getting something between 2,800 to 3,000 square feet, 4-bed, 2.5 bath with a first floor office. So it really just depends on what you're looking for, but plenty of great options when it comes to housing in Naperville. And just because I said an average sales price of around $750,000, you can definitely find things that are much more expensive, as well as much more affordable, especially when you're looking at condos and townhomes as well. When it comes to new construction, because this is kind of huge when people reach out to me when it comes to Naperville, there's actually a little pocket for new construction going on right now, Naperville Polo Club. It actually filters into District 202, which is Plainfield Schools, and it's kind of on that border of Naperville and Plainfield, but there's a lot of new construction options there. But if you're looking to kind of, build a home, there's really not a lot of new construction going on. Neighbor Commons, which was in North Naperville, had single family homes from around 900 to 1.3, just depending on finishes throughout the home. But if you want to kind of that new construction feel, you gotta go, much more west or much more south. And when I say west, more like that, Oswego, Yorkville area, and then south and kind of like that Plainfield area. But just depending on what you want, if you kind of want that big new construction feel, you can definitely find them in those newer built homes from that 1.5 to even that upper 2 mil range, depending on which pockets of Naperville that you're looking for. Now, when you're looking at Elmhurst in regards to the real estate portion of everything like that, just because you're closer to the city, typically the prices are much more higher as well. My favorite thing, especially in like the downtown area, is that you kind of have a lot of those old historic homes, from Tudors to cottages to bungalows, You kind of name it, you kind of have a lot of different options when it comes here to Elmhurst. And, with that being said, a lot of the homes here in Elmhurst are kind of between that 700,000 to that $1 million price point. And, when looking at that as well, there's definitely new construction options that are, going much higher than that. But don't be like shaken or anything like that, because you can definitely find options like split levels as well as brick ranches between that 450 to 650 range, and definitely much more affordable options too if you're looking for like a condo or a townhome as well. I would definitely say proximity to the downtown area as well as metro kind of factors in very heavily when it comes to Elmhurst housing. Like I said, if you're closer to downtown area or closer to the train, you can typically find those prices going much, much higher. But I would say Elmhurst in the downtown area as well as the downtown Naperville section when it comes to housing are kind of similar in a sense. I would say Elmhurst probably has it beat on a much more higher scale because you're that much closer to the city of Chicago. So I would say, a lot of the things that my clients kind of reach out to me is kind of asking me for help in terms of where they should choose, whether it be Naperville or Elmhurst. And I would say if you are looking for Naperville, you're probably, don't mind a longer commute if getting to the city of Chicago is important to you. Newer homes, bigger community, big downtown area, and just kind of like that farther, like I said, from the city of Chicago. Naperville, could be a great option for you. But, if you're focusing on Elmhurst and you kind of want that amazing proximity to the city of Chicago, you want a more intimate community feel, you want that more historic charm, that more walkability, then Elmhurst is probably right for you. But at the end of the day, I would definitely suggest to you guys that if you're looking to make a move here, is definitely come out here for the weekend, or better yet, give me a call and I can kind of give you all the things that you need and answer all your questions when it comes to making a move here to either Elmhurst or Naperville. So if you're still trying to decide, like I said, let me know in the comments down below what other questions that you have, or better yet, like I said, just reach out to me. We've helped over 100 families buy, sell, or invest in the real estate in the Chicagoland area, and I would be absolutely honored to be your real estate agent. So whether it be next week or next year, give me a call, reach out, shoot me an email. All my information is down below in the description. Watch one of these videos up here. Let me know what you guys want to see going forward, and I will see you guys on the next video.